In this recording, we're going to focus on the DimDate. Another dimension, very important dimension. The code for these creations of the DimDate, it's all in this. If you click on this one, you download the SQL that generate this, the table and generate the whole data required to populate this table. So really we'll focus on this SQL. A little bit SQL, but it's a very simple after all. So let's start. When you open this SQL, you will get this file, and this file is the whole code you need really to create a DimDate. Very important to mention first, you have to decide in every cube what is the resolutions of this DimDate you need. Most of the time, you will need this type that the resolution will be on a basis of specific date, a day in a year. That's the most common resolution, and that's the one that we will do here. Many times can happen. I had many cases in real life in which the resolution was a second, or in fact, sometimes a millisecond, and then it becomes to be a very challenging. But fortunately, it's not that common, so I won't dive into that resolution. Whoever wants can come and talk to me. I will show you how you can do that as well. Okay, so first of all, we have to create a table, and a table which will populate the data. In which database we're going to do it, we're already familiar. When we run this one, it makes sure that whatever we do going to be inside the PTO underscore DW underscore Amos. Remind you, when you do it, you must change Amos to your team name. This one was also mentioned before, and here we go. We're going to create a DimDate. If you remember in the previous session, we deleted what I did previously, so I'm not going to bother by deleting something that doesn't exist. So I'm going to just run this one, and then we'll look at how this table looks like. I'm running, I have a table. Let's refresh tables, refresh, and we'll see a table created. And here we go, we have a DimDate. Let's see which columns do we have there. Okay, primary key, and in a minute I will talk that here I didn't put the identity for a reason, because I want to populate it myself. I want to make it a little smarter. It's not really necessary, but it's kind of nice. In many cases, it's helpful, although not necessary. Then I have the date, the actual date. I have a data type date, okay? So if I really want the date of that specific row, I will have it in this column. I also would like to generate which month this date it belongs to and which year it belongs to, which month number. And in fact, here I will have it, if, as you see, it's an end character. Here I'm going to populate the name of the month. And here it's the number of the month. That's very useful in many cases, and we'll see later on. Then, which week of the year it is, okay? So there are 52 weeks, on which weeks this date falls in. Then I have a week of the day. For example, Sunday up to Saturday, okay? So each, let's say Sunday will be 1, and then we'll run up to Saturday, which will be 7. So, and if I want to do analysis and see which of the day I'm billing the most likely it's not going to be the weekend, because people don't work over the weekend, and which day of the week will be the one that we're billing the most. It's theoretically not supposed to be any difference, but it might. Secondly, which holiday, where the holidays goes. Here I didn't really put it here, but you can expand. When you do your analysis, you can expand more columns here and mark if it is a holiday. You can even mark which kind of a holiday it is, and then I do analysis by holidays. Here I made it relatively simple, just put the date and which day of the week, blah, blah, blah. Is it a weekday? Just a mark, of course, I can know it's from the previous one, but it's convenient to put it as a separate column. This one also supposed to be familiar. Here I'm just putting a primary key, meaning the first column, it's going to be a primary key. What's the name of the primary key? It's pk_DimDate. That's will do, and then actually we got a table, an empty table. The challenge becomes to be, how do I populate it? And here we get some new stuff that we haven't learned before. And you can do with SQL, you can define variables. What I have here, the first command, it says declare start. So the variable is start, and I'm declaring the start as a date, okay? It's a date, and the date is 2017, in fact, January 1st, 2017. I declared another variable called end, which is also a type of date, and the end is the end of 2019, meaning I'm going to generate or populate the table that we just generated now, which is empty now, and I wanted to write some code here. They're going to run from the beginning, from the start of 2017 up to 2019, the end of 2019. And here we go. You have learned Python, and Python you might have learned, and you should have learned, probably I should say, the while loop. SQL also have a similar one, and then here it says while start is lower than the end, meaning as long as the start is lower than the end, do the following. And the following means everything's between the beginning and the end, okay? Another word, just like in Python or any other programming language, you have a while loop. There's two really loops, very popular command. It's for loop and a while loop. Here I'm using the while loop, telling me that as long as the start is lower than the end, do whatever it's between those two words, begin and end. Okay, what am I supposed to do? Okay, here we go. I insert into the DimDate, and what am I inserting into it? Those are the columns of the DimDate. If you follow, if you see those names that I just put here, it's exactly the columns that we have in the table. And here, as I said before, I'm going myself to put the index for the primary key. I'm not going to tell the table to do it by itself. I'm going to tell him which number to put as a primary key. So that's why I put the primary key as well. Another word, insert into table name, open parentheses, and put all the columns you want to insert data into. The fun stuff starts in this section. In fact, as usually when we're inserting, we kind of, as you notice so far, we always kind of have a select command. What is this select command? This select command, it's preparing the first row to insert into the table. And then as the while loop continue, it will insert another one. In fact, let me do it the right way. Let's start. This is the select, okay? And then I have the one, and I'll come back to that. I have errors. And then here is the end of the select. The last command is just after I'm inserting the first row, I am adding a day, one day to the start variable. If you notice here, the command set in SQL, it's like in Python, when you're changing a variable and you're adding, it's like you can do plus equal in Python, and you're adding one, okay? Here I'm adding start was, we're starting, the start is January 1st, 2017. This one is making it January 2nd, 2017. It's adding one on a basis of DD, meaning that add is a function of SQL that knows how to add to this variable another one day, because I told him DD, it's telling me the one refer to one day. So it's another function and you can look it up. There's a lot of them that you can add a year, you can add a month, you can add a lot of things. So I leave it to you as an exercise. Here we're using, we want to add another day. Or if I want to translate the command, let's look at the hard command, understand the logic, and then we'll get into a little more detail. I have a while loop. I'm starting at January 1st, 2017. I'm inserting into DimDate, but what am I inserting? One row at a time. This is one row at a time. After I'm inserting the first row, I'm telling add one more day and repeat, because this is a while loop. The while January 2nd, it's still below December 31st, 2019. So it's going to insert another row, and it's going to do it until it gets to the end, to December. Pay attention, it's lower equal, meaning it will include also December 31st, 2019. And that's why I put lower equal, meaning do also the last one, okay? Otherwise, we'll do it until December 30. So pay attention to this one. Okay, the only things left to really understand is really what we did here. This is a little trick. There is as we have a date add, there's another function in SQL called date part. And again, strongly recommend, look it up. What are the functions that you can do with dates? Look it up online. There's so many of them, you don't really have to remember them by heart. That will be almost impossible. But know that they'll exist and just know how to find out those functions online. That's something you have to know how to do by yourself. Okay, so let's look at the first part, okay? Let's just look at this one. The rest will be very similar. What does this one says? This one says from the variable start, okay? Whatever the variable start is, pull out the year, okay? After you pulled up the year, okay, in this case, it will be 2017 for the first one. I'm multiplying it by 10,000. The only reason I'm multiplying it by 10,000, it's like keeping 4 places after the year. So I will have 2017, and after the 2017, I'm going to add the second part. What is the second part? Second part, it says, as you did it for the year, this time it's for the month, okay? What is the month of the date start? Of course, it's January. January will be 01. So I'm multiplying it by 100 and adding it to the previous one. That means I'll have 2017, and then I'll have 01. Some things I do for the day. Then that will be, the DD means give me the part of the date start. Give me, in fact, the 1st of January. So it means this is also going to be 01. So if I'm looking at the whole things here together, what this one is really mean, okay, from the date start that I have here, I'm going to have 2017. Let me even just kind of write it somehow here. What I'm going to have, I will make it as a comment, so it won't, even if I forget, it's nothing will happen. 2017, I multiplied it by 10,000. That means I can put 4 digits here. The next 4 digits will be 01. That will be for the month. And then I have another 01 for the day of the month. So this one will be the index. This is going to be the primary key for the first day, okay? And the same things will be for the rest, okay? So here, when I say as a P key, that means you sum up all of that stuff and it will be in the column P key. What do we do next? Okay, let me delete it because we don't really need it. I just wanted to demonstrate what it's going to do with the first date. What do we do next? Then I have the date itself. Okay, that makes sense. Start itself is a date. Okay, that's the way I define it. Okay, so I'm just putting it as in the column called date. Why I'm putting it in a parenthesis? It's a good habit, generally speaking, especially for a special word like date. And a date is a special word, lowercase, I should say. But it's a good habit to put variables that you're not sure if they are a special word in SQL, just put them in parentheses, and then you won't have any problem. It will treat them as any other variable. Okay, so start will be in here as a variable date. The next one, I'm going to take this one give me the name of the month, but I would like to keep only the first 3 letters. So I get the month here, January, the whole word January, but I don't really want to keep the whole word January. I only want to keep 3 letters. So from the first letter to the third, out of whatever this one is giving me. So from the whole word January, I would like to keep only the JAN, and that's the function substring does. Substring takes whatever you give it, and here this one gives me January. It will take only the letters from the first one to the third one, and whatever I get here, it will put in a variable called month. Okay, then again, this one already looks familiar because we have used it before. If you see here that part, we used it, that gives me the year. So I'm taking the year and put it in a variable called a year. Some things I'm doing for the month, that gives me the month number. Pay attention, this is the month number, this is the month name. Maybe I should have called it month name, but it doesn't really matter much. Next, we'll look at that part. So another things, some things for the week, okay, the week number. Then I have also a week name. Again, you can look it up. That name has you can use DW and it will give you the name of the day. Okay, same things you do for the number, the date number. So that gives me 1 up to 7. Okay, last one. Okay, this is also a good one to learn. Another possibility in SQL. Is it a working day or not? So I know that from 1 to 5, in fact, let's say from Monday to Friday, including Friday, it's a working day. So I want all the numbers that are above 1, then I will say it is a working day. Otherwise, I will put it as a 0. In other words, that part gives me, if I do DW, it gives me the number, okay? Number 0, it's not a working day, and number 0 and 1 are not working day, meaning Saturday and Sunday are not a working day, but all the numbers above that are working day. Therefore, I will put it 1. The rest, the other 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, they will get a 0. Okay, that's another way of doing an if, a little different than Python or other language. Here I use a case, when, and then, case, when, then, else, and then I will complete it. I have the end. This is really I should really mark it that way. This is really the if command, the end of the if command, and whatever the results, you put it in a variable called isWeek there. Let's run it and see what happens. I'm running it, takes me a little time, and if you see, really kind of populating one at a time, as I said. Every time it runs, okay, is adding another row, okay? So let's see now, let's look at the table itself that we just generated. Let's look at this one more time. And we got exactly what we wanted. Notice it generated the primary key the way I wanted it. It's 2017-0101, exactly as I mentioned before. Okay, it does it automatically. It put the date exactly as we asked him, and as you see in the while, we're always adding 1, so the date is incrementing. And then I have the month. I kept only the first 3 letters. That's the substring function have done that. I pull the year, I pull the month number, and I pull the week number. Okay, this is the first week, second week of the year, etc. And here is the weekday. Okay, Number 1, it's Sunday, and it goes up to 7, it's Saturday. So if I see here, in fact, what are the working days? I meant it's higher than 1. It gives me, in fact, I already made a kind of a mistake now that I'm noticing. If I already want to put Saturday also as not a working day, I should, if I put Saturday to be non-working day, I should really change my function because my function doesn't do it, okay? I should really change, what that, let's find the SQL, this one, okay? This one doesn't really do the job because I made it just higher than 1, okay? I should really put also or, okay? The date part is lower than 7, and that will do the job. Let's keep it for now this way, and we'll have the only one that it's not a working day, it's Sunday. Too many opened. Let's find this one again. Take this one. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Well, I leave it to you as an exercise. That's a good exercise. Saturday, make Saturday to be as a non-working day, okay? Meaning I need to get a 0 here. And as I mentioned before, you can really just change the condition. Beautiful. So now we have a primary key, and we have all the detail about that date. It goes from here to, let's remove the 1,000 so we see the last date, because there's more than 1,000 if I'm not wrong, there's more than 1,000. Oh yeah, there's 1,095 days between those two dates. And here's the last day. December 31st, 2019. If I wanted to rerun the whole things again, I don't really have to think too much, right? I just empty the table and run the command, the SQL again. Let me just find it, here we go. How do I create the same things, just from a different date? I can just go here. If I wanted to start from the beginning of 2000, here we go. Now, if I will run it, of course, it will just add more, and that will be a duplicate, and we'll start complaining that I'm inserting in the primary key duplicate, and it won't allow me. So the first things, what should we do? Of course, we'll empty the table. How will you empty the table? Exercise, we have done it before. Remember the command truncate? Truncate will empty the whole table. And in fact, it deletes and recreates the table. You'll have an empty table, and then you just rerun it, and that's what you do. You don't really have to run this one again, because the table, you can keep the table. So if you really want to change so that your dim table would start from a different date, all what you have to do is add the truncate command here, clean the table, and then run the whole things again, and then it will populate the whole things from 2000. That's pretty cool. You don't really have to mess it. It becomes to be very handy. You can keep this code for other projects, even in real life. Very useful. That's the end of this one. Let me just show you what we have done so far and conclude this session. We have done this one last time. We have done this one this time. And next time, I'm going to focus on this one and then combine those two together. Thank you.